But I think the reality is that we pay attention to what's happening with our children. We speak life into our children and we give them the appropriate praise and response that they're supposed to receive so that when they go to school, if they have something that's adverse to that or different or not in alignment with what you're saying, then they come to you and say, well, this is what little John said about X, Y, and Z, but you said this. Okay, now let's have that conversation. Let's have that dialogue. But if you're not building your child up and giving them the tools and the resources and the knowledge and the affirming language in your home, then when they go out into the streets, they don't know what's right and what's wrong. And it's easy to take on what the bully is saying because you don't have anything to fight it with. No affirming language, no life talk, no, maybe not the confidence or the belief that you can go talk to your parents, whatever the case might be. I think that that's some of it. Yeah, I'm thinking about just some stuff that my son went through and dealt with. If I could do some things different, that's what I would have done. I would have spoken more from a loving space, more from an acceptance space, even though some of what these people were saying was true. I probably should have given a different perspective in the home to be able to give him more strength and guidance in how to deal with those people out there. So that the affirming tone and love at home so that they can deal with what's going on in the streets.
Right. Tiara, I know you had something to say.
I want to add to what Lene is saying. You are absolutely right, sis. But we can only do so much. So what I decided to do, in addition to us loving on Lauren, we also took her to around people that look like her. My biggest gripe with living in California and raising a child in California is that it's a little too white and a little too liberal for me, right? I live in the valley. I live in the valley, I live in the valley. So there's a lot of white and Latino people, and the school that she was going to was predominantly that. And so what I had to do was I had to take her to Debbie Allen, right? I had to take her to Wendy Raquel Robinson. I had to take her to schools and programs where I knew that there was like this auntie, like Debbie Allen's studio for Lauren as an artist was game changing for us. Not only because Debbie has her hand on those kids, but also like everyone in her academy also kind of echoes and is like Debbie. They feel like it feels like an auntie. So I needed that, even though we couldn't get auntie in a and because my family is not in California, we had to get auntie where I could get auntie. I said, oh, well, let me just take her where she gets art, but then she also gets community. So if it wasn't me saying, Lauren, don't do that, it's Debbie Allen saying, Lauren, take that out you don't talk to her like that. Game changer. Game
Right.
changer. And being around kids that were excellent like that. Being around, because if what the mother said was, um, the peers at this point are the most important. Your peer perception, what your peers think of you shape your perception of yourself. There's nothing I could tell her. There is, obviously there is, but I'm saying that the student, the people that she's around every day, the kids that she's around every day makes the biggest difference at this age. So I just had to get her around some kids that was like, listen, I want to be on television. I want to be productive. I want to be amazing. I want to work hard.